Miss Isabell Broich, yeah, I pronounced it well, that despite the German family name, she is working in the University of Derby in the United Kingdom, and she will tell, well, she will not tell, she will ask if accessible tourism can be sustainable. And I hope you will answer the question.
Yeah, just
Go
to make
ahead.
sure,
Yeah.
I just finished my degree in tourism management in April. And first of all, I want to talk about the reasons why I wrote my dissertation about accessible tourism. And I want to start with a quote by Grimm and Lohmann in 2009. The demographic change, especially the increasing number of the older population, is not just part of our future, the demographic change has already started. And that is what I have experienced in my previous job while I was at uni. I worked for a tour operator, which is specialized on luxury travel for the elderly. And the average age was around 75 years. So, as you can guess, a lot of our customers used walkers or sit in wheelchairs, and I was responsible for finding hotels and organizing trips for our tours. So it was quite hard for me to find hotels and trips which were actually accessible and could be used for all our customers. So, and that was the first moment when I thought about how important accessibility can be in the future, and if a tourism destination has to be accessible in the future with regard to the demographic change. And the aim of my dissertation was to investigate the role of accessibility within a sustainable destination. And I used the objectives to explore destinations' perception with regards to sustainability and accessibility, and to examine destinations' perception with regards to the link between both topics, between accessibility and sustainability. So during the process of my dissertation, I created a triangle of accessibility and sustainability. As I don't have enough time to go into detail, I want to explain what the triangle is actually about. As you can see, the outside triangle, the lighter gray triangle, is a triangle of sustainability. The basis of a successful destination is the destination management, which have to develop a strategy to ensure a sustainable economy. So it's not the task for the organization to develop a green strategy. So just about saving the environment, it's about creating long-term goals, and to consider the social, the environmental, and the business aspect, as you can see, finances, social factors, and environment. And that is what the triangle of sustainability combines equally. Furthermore, I explored 3 reasons why a destination should be accessible. The first reason is the business case. So as it was mentioned before, the demographic change has an important demand for accessible tourism. So the group of disabled, or the elderly, is going to grow. Furthermore, there are many disabled people who travel with family or friends, so they have to be included as well. And family with children, obviously, as well. And the second point is about the medical versus social model. They are different perspectives how you can see disabilities. The medical model describes that disabilities exist within the individual and that people are disabled by their impairments. Consequently, disabled people are not able to take part in social life and are kind of excluded of social activities. And the completely opposite side is the social model. That means the social model locates disabilities within the environment. It does not come from the individual, it does come from the environment, which creates barriers within the society. And the third and last reason to be accessible is accessibility in general. So by looking at physical access, it becomes clear that inaccessible environment represents the biggest barrier, especially for tourism. If the tourists can't get to the tourism attraction, then, well, it can be the attraction can be accessible, but the tourist has no chance to get there. So in the end, I linked one dimension of the triangle of sustainability to one reason. So it's the financial part of the triangle of sustainability with the business case. So if a destination uses the demand in a good way, so they are able to increase the number, like increase the income of the destination. The social factor and the medical versus social is a guest always wants to feel like home when they're going on holiday. So if the social model is adopted by the host of the destination, so the guest will feel like comfy and more at home. And the last one is the environment. So it's always about get a big, like a nicer structure in the environment. And when you try to make the whole environment accessible, you have like the chance to build good good environment and good transportation within the destination. And for my methodology, like after explaining the theoretical part, the research and the findings I have to mention as well. And I decided to work with a qualitative research method and inductive theorizing. And from my primary research, I interviewed 7 different destination management organizations in Western Germany and asked the manager about different kinds of regards to accessibility and sustainability. Just for you to show like where I've interviewed the DMOs. Like the pin is Cologne in Western Germany, so that was the main city. And on that one, the pins are like the 7 different DMOs which I've interviewed. So it's Cologne in the left corner, which is the biggest city I've interviewed. Then Bonn on the bottom, which is the second biggest, and the other 5 are around 30,000 inhabitants. So it's more like a rural area of Germany. And these are the questions I've asked, the first 4 about sustainability. Does accessibility play a role for your destination? If yes, why? If no, why? Have you made any investments to be sustainable? And do you have any future plans? The second, like the other 4 questions were about accessibility. Does accessibility play a role for your destination? If yes, why? If no, why? What do you already offer? And do you have any future plans for accessibility? And the last 2, do you see a link between accessibility and sustainability? If yes, no. If yes, if no, why? Which impact can it have on your destination in general and in the future? So as I don't have enough time to give you the answers of each destination for each question, I guess everyone is hungry already, and we're going to sit here for another 2 hours, I guess. I'm just going to give you like a short overview and put like all 4 questions about sustainability, all 4 questions about accessibility, and the other 2 together. About sustainability, 2 DMOs misunderstood the. Okay, for the beginning, in German I used corporate sustainability because when you say just sustainability, everyone thinks I'm talking about green sustainability, and that's what I didn't want, and that's why I said corporate sustainability or a sustainable economy. But still, 5 destinations said yes, they do know what sustainability is, but 3 out of these 5 misunderstood still the word and thought I'm actually talking about green sustainability. So they gave me answers which like explained some walking trails and which I didn't ask about, but still they had thought about sustainability. And the other 3 gave information such if they want to recapitalize their capital they've invested in projects already. And 2 of the DMOs, they have not even thought about sustainability before. So they have no idea what sustainability is, not even the green sustainability. And that were, like, the best answers were from Cologne, so the biggest city. And as we heard before, cities such as Berlin and the biggest cities in Germany, they have already accessible tourism, but most of the wrong answers came from the destinations in the rural areas, so the smaller destinations. Then I asked about accessibility, and 5 out of 7 DMOs stated that they don't see a role for their destination with accessibility. It has to be said that these rural areas, it's quite a hilly area, so and their main attractions are just heritage sites, so it's quite hard for them to make heritage sites accessible and that everyone can get there. And sorry. And yeah, so the problem is the location of these rural areas. Cologne doesn't have that kind of big problem because they're like not on that kind of hilly side, and the big city is bigger. But at least 2 DMOs see the demand and have thought about accessibility. So it was Cologne and another like smaller city. And in the last one, the correlation between DMOs which don't see a demand for accessibility, they don't see a link between between both topics as well. Just 2 DMOs, the same, who thought accessibility can be important, see like a link between accessibility and sustainability. And so my conclusion is that a link can be seen and that the aim is actually investigated, but there's almost no prior knowledge in the rural areas of Germany. The bigger cities, as we've heard before, are quite good right now, but they still have to develop accessible tourism. But the rural areas, they have no knowledge, and it is actually important to offer a continuous chain of accessibility within like not just the parts of the city which the DMOs can have like an impact on. So like restaurants should know that as well. So they have, like, when they want to rebuild their destination, their restaurant, the DMO should go there and say, yeah, okay, think about accessibility and think about accessible tourism, how that can like change your future. And so maybe ways have to be found to inform these managers of like private companies and offer like an information seminar or like hand out leaflets with information of the advantages of accessible tourism. And yeah, so, and before I thank you for listening, I want to thank my lecturer, Eleni Michipulu, for just giving me the chance being here. And yeah, thank you.
My name is Olaf from the German National Tourist Board, and I would like to address Isabell. Thank you very much for the interesting presentation. So you did your research in 7 regions in Germany, including Cologne, and your conclusion is that they are in the early stage of sustainability, or even did not understand what you're talking about. That's fine, but then you said this is for all rural areas in Germany, and this is a situation where I have to raise my hand, because there are so many good examples in Germany, even regions very large with investing a lot in sustainable projects and in barrier-free projects like the Black Forest, like Allgäu, one of the most attractive regions in Bavaria, the northern coast, and even the national park Eifel, which is close to Cologne, is doing a really good job in sustainable way, and in the case of products for handicapped persons or people with disabilities. So maybe I misunderstood you, but as a guy promoting Germany, I have to raise my hand, and as a guy having been on the spot and really being fascinated by the tourism products, I have to say this is not for all Germany. This is a result for your 7 locations.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean it for all of Germany. I just meant like the rural areas which were interviewed.
What you said.
Sorry for that, but just wanted to make sure, like, just the 5.
And I gave you the USB card in your bags, and there are several examples for sustainable and barrier-free rural areas, which may even be best practice for other regions in other countries. So thank you.
Well, now that you are raising the German flag, I should say that this study that I mentioned was done apart from GFK, also with the University of Surrey, and my friend and colleague Peter Neumann from Germany, that maybe you know. Okay. Yes?
I just wanted to find out what are some of the reasons or criteria that was used to determine that Germany would be the country for your study.
Well, the main reason is basically that I am from Germany. So, and I am from that region, so I'm from one of these smaller rural cities. And by the time I had to write my dissertation, I was actually at home during winter, so it was easier for me to do my research on a region I'm actually at, so I was able to go to the DMOs and interview them. So that's basically the main reason for me, and yeah, because I'm from Germany and that area.
Then you can ask yourself if you are sustainable.
Yeah.